Saul went searching for his father's donkeys, but Samuel was waiting on the road. The man who searched for what was lost was about to carry a kingdom. Samuel took the flask of oil, poured it upon Saul's head and said, "Has not Yahweh anointed you ruler over his inheritance?" Then the Spirit of Yahweh came upon him. Saul was changed into another man. He stood among the prophets, and Israel saw that something had begun. You were chosen from among the people, raised from the smallest tribe. Yahweh gave you strength for battle, and victory stood at your side. But a crown cannot replace obedience, and power cannot hide the heart. To obey is better than sacrifice when a kingdom starts to fall apart. When Nahash came against Jabesh, the Spirit of God rushed upon Saul. He gathered Israel for battle, and the enemy was broken before them. The people cried, "Who said Saul should not reign?" And Samuel said, "Come, let us renew the kingdom." But at Gilgal Saul waited, and Samuel did not come in time. The people began to scatter, and fear entered Saul's mind. So Saul took the offering and placed it on the altar himself. Then Samuel came. "What have you done?" Saul answered, "I saw the people leaving me, and the Philistines gathering." Samuel said, "You have acted foolishly. You have not kept the command Yahweh, your God, gave you. Your kingdom will not endure." Then came Amalek. Yahweh gave the command, but Saul spared Agag and kept the best of the sheep and cattle. When Samuel came, Saul said, "I have obeyed the word of Yahweh." But Samuel answered, "Then what is this bleating of sheep that I hear?" Saul said, "The people spared the best to sacrifice to Yahweh." Then Samuel said, "Does Yahweh delight in burnt offerings as much as in obeying his voice? To obey is better than sacrifice, and to listen better than the fat of rams." You were chosen from among the people, raised from the smallest tribe. Yahweh gave you strength for battle, and victory stood at your side. But a crown cannot replace obedience, and power cannot hide the heart. To obey is better than sacrifice when a kingdom starts to fall apart. Samuel said to Saul, "Because you rejected the word of Yahweh, he has rejected you as king." Saul reached for Samuel's robe, and the fabric tore in his hand. Samuel said, "Yahweh has torn the kingdom of Israel from you today and given it to one better than you." Then David was anointed. The Spirit of Yahweh came upon David, and Saul watched another man rise. The songs began. Saul has struck down his thousands, and David his tens of thousands. From that day Saul watched David with jealousy, a spear in his hand. wilderness, but David would not kill Yahweh's anointed. Again and again Saul saw that Yahweh was with David. Still he held the crown, still he feared losing it. Still the darkness grew. Then the Philistines gathered at Gilboa. Saul was afraid, he asked Yahweh, but received no answer. So Saul went by night to the woman at Endor, and the message came, "Tomorrow you and your sons will be with me." The battle rose on Mount Gilboa. Israel fled before the Philistines. Jonathan fell, Saul was wounded. The king who once stood tall among Israel now stood surrounded by defeat. Chosen, anointed, victorious, disobedient, rejected. To obey is better than sacrifice. The crown fell on Gilboa. The sons of Saul fell beside him. The first king of Israel came to the end of his road. He began searching for donkeys and found a kingdom. He lost the kingdom when he stopped listening.